Me right now is a lot of plant-based, which I'm not vegan. I don't put a title on myself, but showing people how beautiful plant-based food can be and listening to your body and being inspired. That's where my inspiration's coming from right now.
Welcome to Black Belt Beauty Radio, a podcast fueled by a passion to support your journey in developing your most beautiful and optimal performance in life. Each episode is driven with the intention to elevate your mind. When we elevate our mind, we elevate our life. So get ready. It's time to rise. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to Black Belt Beauty Radio. I am so psyched to have my friend, Chef Amber Caudle, back on the podcast for you guys. Our first episode was almost a year ago now, and it was a total hit. I mean, I got so much positive feedback from around the world, listeners around the world of, how much they really appreciated listening to Amber discuss, nutrition and health and just overall wellness. And that's one thing that I really love about Amber. I mean, aside from the fact that she's an incredibly talented chef, she's also someone who is on this constant pursuit of, optimizing her health. And she knows how to, just look at it and approach it from a place of, it's not a straight line, it's a constant dance. And sometimes the dance can be really frustrating, and sometimes the dance is providing so much joy and ease. So it's rad. It's rad to get into that with her. And I'm excited to share, where she's at now with, what's inspiring her in the kitchen, also just overall wellness, like where, how she's kind of channeling that in her life. One thing I want to note is that I originally intended for this episode to come out in January. So you're going to hear that a lot, actually. But after I listened back to it, I thought, you know what? There's so many great strategies and tips that I think are going to be useful around the holidays for you guys, because, the holidays can be a time of overindulgence. And my goal for you guys is to not just start the year like at the start line or maybe a little behind it, but I want you to be ahead of it, And so for me, I feel like what that equates to is, enjoying the holidays and definitely taking advantage of all the wonderful food and all that stuff that happens, but not getting carried away to where, you don't feel your greatest as you're starting the new year. I don't want that at all. So please ignore the fact that we talk about January. And also another thing to know is that so I also bring up P1440, which is my best friend, Carrie Walsh Jennings, and her husband, Casey Jennings, pro beach volleyball tour with a whole wellness and lifestyle experience. I mean, it's so amazing. And the thing is that I reference it as if it was already, the last event happened already in this episode. But the thing is that it's actually going down this weekend. So it's November 30th, the weekend of November 30th. If you guys, any one of you are in Southern California, I cannot recommend coming down enough. It's so much fun. And it's not just fun. I mean, there's like the pro beach volleyball, which is such a sexy sport. It's so amazing. Come cheer on, my Carrie and her husband, but also just all the different stations that are there. There's like movement stations, there's meditation. It's just a whole wellness experience. And you get to meet Chef Amber if you come through, because Chef Amber will be doing cooking demonstrations and talking about, food and just optimizing health through food. So it's going to be a really rad experience. So hopefully some of you guys will be able to come out, and I'm sure if you do, you'll see me prancing around all over the place like a total cheerleader. It's awesome. So that's it, you guys. I want to hit play and let you guys indulge in this wonderful woman's mindset and, knowledge and strategies towards, nutrition, having fun in the kitchen, and really just optimizing your entire health and wellness. So please enjoy this episode with my friend, Amber Caudle.
Amber, I'm not going to lie. I feel like a diva right now. Holding this mic up to my mouth. We are on. I am so excited to have you back. Just so you know, I mean, I'm sure people reached out to you directly, but I got so much feedback from our last podcast episode from around the world.
So amazing.
Of how much they enjoyed you, your story, your knowledge. So I'm so excited to do round two.
Round
with
two.
you.
Me too.
Catch
I know.
up,
So exciting.
all that stuff. Yay. So let's start with what's inspiring right now to you in health, and especially related to food, like in your cooking, nutrition? Is there anything that's...
What is inspiring to me? I think inspiring to me right now is really looking at clean labels in health and helping inspire people to pay attention to what they're putting in their body and that it matters right now, and getting away from this quick fix mentality and really making health food, I don't like that word, but healthier food, accessible and fun and exciting. I always use the word sexy to describe food.
I love that you do
but
that.
a lot of the inspiration coming from me right now is a lot of plant-based, which I'm not vegan. I don't put a title on myself, but showing people how beautiful plant-based food can be and listening to your body and being inspired. That's where my inspiration's coming from right now.
I love it.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I didn't tell you this. The other day I went into the source and you had your broccoli rice there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so excited
I almost
because I
texted
see,
you.
apparently you don't need to. I'm like, I can read your mind. I go in and I was so excited because I see on your Insta stories, your broccoli rice, and we've talked about it even. It was so good. I mean,
that's so
it's
awesome.
kind of a no-brainer, but like it was so
Thank you.
good.
That's going to be on the January episode. So yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Before we get into, because you've been up to so much.
Yes.
And so I feel like there's a lot to dive into there. I want to just say, based off of what's inspiring you, I think it's rad that you're especially working so much in the plant area right now, because I understand why you don't like healthy food, like that word.
I don't like that word.
Because it seems like it has carried this kind of interpretation of boring food.
Boring and drab.
Yeah. Like there's
broccoli
no
and
taste.
tofu and
salad,
chicken,
it's lettuce,
blah.
and it's so interesting how it's like it couldn't be further from the truth.
I know.
It's the widest variety of, I don't know, like taste that you can play with if you know what to do, or if you're inspired to learn what to do. So,
and I think that's what people are nervous around the vegetable arena. Those are the most requests I get. It's like, how do I make these carrots taste like not just plain raw carrots or roasted carrots on a plate?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, because I guess it's easy, right? Steak and a baked potato. I mean, that's pretty basic.
Yeah.
Not like anything you do. Everything you do is. But you know what? Let me say this. Everything you do, it is actually very simple.
It is simple.
That's what's so rad. It's not like, you're doing this, you're taking like the moon dust from the, no.
Right. No, exactly.
Like you're taking, a lot of what is common that we see in the market.
Exactly.
And you just, and it's, I don't feel like it's ever more than, I don't know, it's just like a few ingredients.
Yeah.
It's very simple, but it's all about knowing how to combine them,
them. Yeah.
And that's where it gets super sexy, I
yes,
feel like.
It does.
Ooh, what's okay.
That's what I get excited about. Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about you have a show right now, which is so rad.
It's so exciting. I started filming. It's been a dream of mine forever, Roxy, over 2 years, to be online or have a cooking show. So the first step, it is an online cooking class series called Cooking with Chef Amber. Amazing. And it's going to be 12 episodes, 1 hour each, and they'll be the same format as my live cooking classes. So there'll be an hour and you'll get 5 recipes, and I'll be able to go into depth, and you'll be able to own it forever and rewind and pause. And I love it because I wanted to reach a broader audience. So when I have people out of town or all over the United States, it's like, oh yay, you can actually, I want to help and inspire people all over.
No, I love that. So smart.
Through food. So that just went live this month. So every month, the first week of the month, a new episode will release. So the first one was starting your day. It's all about breakfast. And I threw in my matcha superfood drink in the morning. And then the next one is healthy holiday sides. And then January will be reset and balance. So
those are amazing.
Yeah.
That's going to be,
yeah.
That's a cool contribution.
So I'm super excited. Yeah. It's definitely out of my wheelhouse. It's different being an on-camera chef but it's great. And I have a lot of passion and I have a big vision for it. Yeah.
You're having a lot of fun with it.
So much fun. Yeah.
That's so exciting. So you're 3 in right now?
3 in. Yeah.
And the last one you did was reset
and balance theme for January.
Yeah. Should we go there now?
We should.
Let's talk about that because I think this episode's going to come out right around the start of the new year. And we know that that's when everyone's gung-ho about like changing up lifestyle to, be healthier essentially.
And diets.
Yeah. Diets, training, all of it. Which, I think that the magic is building habits. Because when you build a habit, it becomes thoughtless.
Yes.
If you're not building the habit and you're like, New Year's is a funny thing to me because I'm all about why.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this in the first place? Whatever this is.
Right.
If your why is strong, you're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like
I agree.
even on the hardest days, your purpose will get you through it. So New Year's is actually not a strong enough purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, it's New Year. But if you're like, I want to feel more energy. I want my skin to look like it's glowing.
Yes.
I want to be able to keep up with my kids who are running
feel good,
around.
Yeah, and feel good in my body. And
all of that stuff. I feel like that's
the why. I agree. And I think that we have such a culture of this quick fix mentality.
Yeah.
And, the average American, Roxy, from Halloween to January 5th, I believe 12 to 15 pounds is the average amount of weight that Americans gain. And it's like game on, right? It's eating and drinking. Balance goes out the window. I've lived that for many years. And then all of a sudden January hits and it's like, how do I do this? And so my restaurant at the Source Cafe is actually very busy in January. People will come in and say, I'm keto, I'm paleo, I'm this, and I'm doing this for 30 days. And then what happens February 1st? February 1st, it's Valentine's Day. And I get middle of February, my customers will come back in and be like, oh my God, I'm dying. I've gained back 5 pounds. So like you said, what's your why?
Right.
What's your intention? For me, I don't like to say New Year's resolutions. I said, what's the intention? Like, how do I want to feel? What's my why? I want to be a better person. And that's mind, body, and soul.
Yes.
And why not just do it through the whole year? Why not make those little baby habit or changes and make it's habits, healthy habits.
Absolutely.
Yeah, through the whole entire year.
I love that. Well, then that's when you make it a lifestyle.
Exactly.
And that's ultimately should be the goal, right?
Exactly. And that's what I love to inspire people about.
I love that. Yeah. So you were talking about quick fixes and labels and
exactly.
I mean, that's huge. And I love that you point that out because I cannot tell you, I'll go in the market sometimes and I just get, and I'm actually shopping at, I'm shopping at Whole Foods or, places where there's healthy food, right? But don't get it twisted. There is some sneaky shit going on.
I know.
And if you don't know how to, if you don't know what you're looking for, if you don't understand how, what things mean in terms of ingredients.
Exactly.
Stuff, it's not.
We need more education and awareness around that. And I like to help educate people with that too, because it is scary. It's confusing for me and I'm in the industry.
Right.
The labels. I mean, I think we could do a whole podcast on labels of natural or, I mean, there's so much, there's so much junk out there that we have to be careful. And I think a couple things that automatically, it's like, this water is gluten-free. Well, of course it's gluten-free. These blueberries, right? I picked up a bag of wild blueberries the other day and on it said vegan, gluten-free. And so it's those labels that are sneaky. Of course they're vegan and gluten-free. It's a wild organic blueberry.
Right.
But those labels are being kind of splattered everywhere.
As if they are the ultimate sign of health.
Yeah.
Which is not.
Yeah. So that gets very confusing. But I think people, the reset and balance theme that was inspired for me to, it's a plant-based episode. And again, I'm not vegan, but what I like to do to reset is I do like to eat plant-based for a couple days. So if I'm going out of town, I know I'm going to be eating out. I don't have control over every single bite that goes in my mouth. I'll eat plant-based 3 or 4 days before and after. Or if I want to go have out a couple drinks, maybe I'll do plant-based a little bit after to reset. But it's not a diet and a cleanse. It just helps alkaline my body, helps me to my liver catch up from stopping to overprocess all the other kind of like oils that might have snuck in or something that I'm not used to eating. So
I love that. I think that's the way. It's instead of this, black and white.
Yeah.
You're either on or off.
Yeah.
Because the problem with that is that life happens. Like you said, you're traveling sometimes. Things are
can't be in control all the time.
You can't. I mean, I'm pretty good at it. Everyone listening to this knows me as like,
I'm pretty good.
Psycho.
No,
but nobody wants to be psycho like me.
I took my own food to my uncle's wedding last weekend, and like everyone's like, "You're crazy. You're a chef showing up at the."
My brother.
I mean, people think I'm crazy, but I was like, "I'm sorry." I'm like, I think the more we know, the more paralyzed I get to do. I mean, that's a whole other.
I know it's a whole other episode. Well, and ultimately, you just know what's going to feel good in your system, and you don't want to put that on somebody else to you don't want to rely on them to know that because they probably don't.
And it will trigger my adrenal fatigue. I mean, certain things will trigger some stuff in my body.
Health.
Yeah.
Well, so I love that approach though.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to go have a couple of drinks or whatever. But so I'm going to make sure that I'm getting in these essential, and micronutrients.
All that fiber.
All that stuff to protect, the system, essentially.
The system. Yeah.
That's cool.
And I think getting rid of, like you said, the black and white thinking. I lived black and white thinking my whole life. I was either dieting or binging my whole entire life.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of, I
feel like it's a common thing.
It's a common thing.
Yeah.
And I think that it's getting better. But then you've got social media and society needs to tell you need to be this size. And that gets confusing. And the diet mentality. I mean, that was my life for 37 years until I stopped the insanity.
Yeah.
So, and inspiring people to like, be calm, make baby steps, changes.
It's all about baby steps, right? I mean, I talk about this a lot because a lot of people like to talk to me about diet and training and whatnot. And I cannot say and I look almost like someone who's very extreme and I'm not. They don't see all the work that it's taken me to get to this place now where it's just lifestyle. It's lifestyle. Habit. There's no thought. It's, but the increments are, I was just saying that to my best friend today. I'm like, I know that to build miles, you build them with inches, and there's many
important. For me. There's many rock bottoms with that. With like, ooh, okay, I stumbled on that didn't work for my body, or ooh, that doctor didn't work, or that supplement, this is painful to get there. It's like inches. It's seriously, but then you come out with this like insight and light of like, okay, that works for me. That feels good. It's a journey. It does not happen overnight.
I agree.
It does not happen overnight.
No, it doesn't. And I love expressing that because I think, and especially, with people at the beginning of the year feeling very determined, very motivated. And oftentimes it is this like, it's not a baby step situation. Yeah. It's, if you've been eating meat your whole life, I'm just making an example. Yeah. Now I'm going to stop eating meat. Or it's so extreme. And then what's hard about that is, like we said, there's no habit. So eventually.
Yeah. So when people come to my cooking classes or come for a consultation or something, they're meat and potato eaters. I'm just going to use that as an example. Sure. I'll say, why don't you start with 1 day a week and then 2 days a week. So Mondays and Thursdays, we're not eating meat. This is our plant-based. And I've had a couple families that have done that, and it's great. They now they look forward to it. They still know that they can have their meat.
Yes.
Or, and so you start incorporating that kind of stuff. And then you start, you know what, I'm going to meal prep at least for 3 days of the week to set myself up for success, not every day. You start with like baby steps.
Yeah, that's so huge.
And that's a good way to like start it, to at least incorporate a little bit of some balance and some healthy habits.
Yeah, I love that. You're really, I've seen you meal prep before on your, which I don't, God, I envy that. That's such a great, because you have to do, there's a lot of work, right? But then you're free.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Do you rely on it, or like, do you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm spoiled because I do have a restaurant. I can go get it for backup. But no, if I don't, I still can go and make poor choices. I mean, in the realm of like poor choice, but maybe I had too many, but no, it's probably the biggest piece for my health. When I really I usually grocery shop on Saturday, wash all my veggies. For me, I need it to 2-step process, write my prep list, even as a chef, I write my prep list. This is always what I tell people to do. And then on Sunday, I wake up after my meditation and I just jam it out. And I have my list ready to go. I know what I'm going to make.
Okay.
There's intention behind it. There's a plan and it's done. And I know I've got 4 hours and then look at, it's like so beautiful.
How long does it last? Like if somebody's actually listening from an instructive way now.
So if I live by myself, so if I had a family, if I had even just a roommate, I would do double the prep and I do freeze some stuff. So I'll freeze my green alkaline soup that's on my blog that everyone always asks about. Roasted vegetables, I usually last me till about Thursday. And then on Friday, I'll do another little batch.
Okay. So it's like 4 days.
4 days.
Okay.
But I can, I'll make like a little bison twice a week. It's the big stuff like the soups and making sure all my raw veggies are cut and washed and ready for salads. Because even for me, if they're not washed and ready, Roxy, they'll just sit in the fridge. So I've got my carrots. They're in the water. My raw beets
my celery
are in the
right
water.
now.
My celery is in the water. And all I have to do is open up the fridge, bam, 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 and I can just kind of piece together my meals. And I plan my meals the night before. For somebody who's listening that's like, how do I make healthier changes for my family and I, especially getting back into January, I'll be very busy.
Yes.
Okay. For me, the night before, I will look tomorrow. If I have a 10-hour day tomorrow, I will plan my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. And I'm ready for the day because, it's where we get ourselves into trouble and where our habits go out the window. It's like, I'm starving. I'm unprepared. I forgot my apple or my hard-boiled egg or whatever it is.
Totally.
And now I have to stop and get something random. And now it kind of is like, I can go down the rabbit hole really fast with that. I think a lot of people.
Well, I think a lot of people,
it's the screw it. I'm starving. I don't know what else to have.
Right.
But so I plan my meals the night before and it might sound a little like compulsive, but I love it. Like,
no, I think you know what it is. At the end of the day, we don't live in a society anymore. We don't live in a time where even if you were to, go to the whatever restaurant down the street, you're going to get some clean piece of meat with some clean vegetable. We are in a very polluted.
We are.
Food,
we are,
whatever we want to call it.
I know, it's unfortunate and scary.
So
yes,
the reason why I say this is because I do believe that if we don't take the initiative, if we don't go out of our way, well, then we're subjected to what's the basic, the norm, all that's around us, which isn't what we need to be putting in our body for the most part, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I know.
No.
And I also think for people like, we're all not alike. So you and I even eat differently.
Yeah.
So every time I share about what I eat or on Instagram or whatever, it's like, do your research, what feels good to you. So when January hits, everyone's like, right now, ketos, and I'm not bashed. I have no opinion on keto.
For sure.
I'm just going to use it as an example because it's hot right now. So everyone wants to be keto. I would suggest to people, go get a little blood work or ask a functional doctor or naturopath or something like, is that because it might not be the diet for you and it could make you a little bit more sick, right?
I love that you say that.
Because somebody will say, oh, we're going to eat just like you, chef. And it's like, no, don't eat just like me because you might need more protein, you might need more carbs, but whatever.
Yeah.
And so everyone is different. And I used to compare myself to every single athlete and person. And it's like, okay, I'm a 40-year-old woman. I don't need to eat 8 ounces of protein per meal, or I don't need to be paleo or keto. I need to find the diet that works for me. And I think we're also individualized.
Well, and you've also done the work to go and see what your blood says about you and all, so better, which I it sounds like this kind of far out step, but again, it's like not really. I mean, when you think about it, it's like, actually I kind of want to know how I'm functioning internally,
exactly,
and not just be guessing. I found out, I'm so excited when this episode comes out where I'm going to be with this whole thing, but we've talked about how my iron levels were basically showing that I'm anemic, which is gnarly. I mean, I didn't get any crazy symptoms from it yet, but if I would have kept, going without knowing this, so not doing my blood work and not learning this about myself, then I could have run into some really big problems, especially being an athlete and my output being so gnarly throughout the week. So, hanging loose, so I called you, full transparency here. I'm like, Amber, help. After 15 years,
She's eating bison. So we're going to be doing some bison tasting after this. I do all kinds of yummy stuff. Turmeric and ginger, dandelion green, cilantro.
I'm so lucky to have a friend like you. That was a big deal for me because after 15 years of not eating meat, if anything, it's probably more mental than physical, because as a kid, I did eat meat. So it's not like I've never had it, but it's a long time.
It's a long time.
And I think what's so important to really and this just goes back to what you were saying about even though keto, and there's a lot of evidence, it could be a really great thing. We're just picking on keto. It's not like we are for or not for.
Yeah.
But it's more about understanding. Do you know how your body metabolizes fat?
Exactly.
Because that's important. Because guess what? If you don't know, and Julie, Julie Keene, nutritionist, clinical nutritionist friend of mine, we talked about this in a podcast. If your gallbladder is stressed, if you can't process fat well,
exactly,
and you're doing this keto diet and you're not doing a lot of vegetables, well, that's a big problem.
It is.
So it's I love that you essentially you're validating that it's not about what you're eating, it's not about what I'm eating, it's about listening to your body, taking the extra step, to learn more about your body.
Exactly.
And then I think it actually gets really fun.
It does.
Because then you're and it's not linear. This shit is always going to be changing.
It's always changing.
You got to be prepared for that. Especially women, hormones.
Exactly.
We're changing. But it kind of, I admit that it gets a little fun for me personally, where I'm like, I got to edit, I got to adjust. Okay, and how is this going to make me feel? And what could I do to be more crafty in this way now with my food? And
I know.
It's so cool.
It is a journey. I know it is cool. I love it. And I think that even in the last year, my diet has changed. And people always ask me, what do you eat? What are you? And I do not have a label for myself. Are you vegan? Are you gluten-free? What are you? And
sounds so funny.
Right.
What are you?
What are you? What do you eat? What type of diet? And for me, I eat 95% plant-based, and I eat, what do I eat? I eat wild bison from Wild Buffalo Idea Company. It's the only bison I trust, and it's a sustainable farm. They're beautiful. Look them up. And I eat wild sardines. And besides that, I would say 4 days a week I'm plant-based, and I have to stay away from certain foods because of my adrenal fatigue and thyroid. And that's been a lot of willingness to tweak that. And I usually stay away from gluten and soy and dairy right now, and eggs.
Yeah.
And it's a journey to listen. But when I introduce that stuff back, I have a reaction. I don't feel good.
Wow.
And I get brain fog, and I'm fatigued and bloated. I'm gassy immediately.
Wow.
My body is uber sensitive. And I think I was having this conversation with one of my friends that we as Americans, we're so used to walking around feeling tired and bloated and gassy. Maybe we don't, I used to for 38 years, Roxy. I did. I walked around, I drank water, I exercised. I thought I was healthy, but I was eating the wrong food for my body. And it was just a normal, when people go out to eat and they say, oh, I can't eat Mexican food because beans give me gas. It's well, there's a reason that beans are giving you gas. Maybe you should eat beans. We're just accustomed to it. And immediately when you start to cut that stuff out and listen to your body, for me, I ate eggs my whole life. I cut out eggs. I have nothing against eggs. I love eggs. I'm allergic to eggs. My body can't handle it. I feel like $1 million. So raw spinach. So there could be actually healthy foods, quote, healthy foods that could be inflaming your body.
Yeah, well, you can build an autoimmune issue from certain foods too when you have leaky gut. So it's not necessarily just for people to know. Yeah. Like Julie and I actually talked about this. And it's not like you reach your quota of almonds if you're having a sensitive, because there's a difference between an allergy and a sensitivity.
There is.
And that's so important to know.
I have a sensitivity. I don't have an allergy. I have sensitivities to too many things.
Yeah. You're sensitive. Well, the cool part about that is that, when you heal your gut, or you do the necessary things, then you can bring them back in later. It's not like you're forever banned from.
It's not. So people listening, don't freak out. It's not forever. Yeah. Reintroduce it. But I have definitely healed my gut, but nothing is going to get in the way of my regularity and my bowel movements. I always talk about, it's a conversation. We do not talk about it, but we walk around. And that I met with my doctor, and he said that 2% of Americans eat enough fiber. 2%.
I believe that.
2% of us eat enough fiber. And that is where our, it all starts, that it's all gut. It's all gut, microbiome
Yeah, absolutely.
and fiber. And we do not. So first off, the one tip today, if I would say, eat more vegetables.
Yes.
Get that fiber in there.
Yeah.
Get your fiber in there because we need to, our digestion's important. We need to eliminate, people get embarrassed about it, but it is one of our main parts of humans.
I go to the bathroom 2 to 3 times a day.
Oh, I'm jealous.
And that's, no, I know it's funny. It's like, it's a thing. It's like where people are like, oh
amazing.
my God. But it's really, I mean, it makes sense because I'm eating a couple times a day.
Yeah.
So I am so conscious about the macros of 2 things really. Protein, number 1. I absolutely need to know my protein mark because especially as someone who, I like having lean muscle, but just for health, it's so important to know what your protein is doing, but also fiber.
Yeah, I know.
I hang out and it's hard. Some people have can get uncomfortable, like get bloated from fiber. So it is tricky, but
it is tricky.
But I think even one thing that's really important when it comes to fiber in the vegetables is really the diversity too.
It is the diversity.
Yeah,
you're right.
You can't just eat broccoli and
every
like
single
you're
day.
good. You want to get this diversity.
And a combination of raw and cooked. So one of my naturopaths said, stop eating just all roasted veggies. Like eat raw carrots and raw red lettuce with your roasted broccoli and squash. And I put a lot of raw veggies in my smoothie bowl. So for those people that have followed me on Instagram, the raw that goes in my bowl in the morning, raw butternut squash, raw delicata squash with the skin, and then I steam my broccoli and my cauliflower, raw zucchini and yellow squash. So it's a combo, and I'm already getting a pound of vegetables in the morning before.
So cool! I'm like,
the day
they
starts.
Can't see my grin. Is like you can, because I gotta say, I'm like thinking, I know you're a chef, but where did you get that combo in your head? Where did you just decide? And you're a curious human.
I'm curious. I've been creative. That is my outlet. I will wake up in the middle of the night because people always say, where do you get these ideas? And it's when I'm in the flow and in my zone, like, I don't know if it's like divine spirit. I'm very spiritual, but like I will get up in the middle of the night, Roxy, and write down ideas, like crazy recipes. I'm like, ooh, I want to combine that and that and that. And then sometimes they're epic fails and sometimes they're amazing. Like this bar that I brought you, the sweet potato black tahini bar, that actually almost was an epic fail. And then it turned into like a really fun new creation. So,
I love that bar.
Yeah, I know.
I'm obsessed. I went one day after a hard workout and I was like, I need starchy carbs. Like I knew I needed, and I tend to eat more fat, heavy base, but I'm not anti-carb by any means. And it was staring at me. Oh no. And I saw it on your Insta story again. I'm just telling you guys right now, if you're hungry.
I know.
I think it's still a good idea to watch your Insta story because it gives you ideas. And
it does.
So I went the next day and I made that post because I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And I know we talked about this, or I mentioned it in our last episode, but that's another, I feel like it's a gift. I'm not a big dessert person per se, not anymore, but on the occasion that I do want to get down on something that feels, dessert-y in that way, I don't want to throw out my whole system because of it. And you come up with some radical shit that tastes so good, gives me that fix, but at the same time, I'm getting very important micronutrients, macronutrients.
Big time.
You're hitting it from all angles.
Yeah.
And I love that because, again, it goes back to the healthy food. No, sexy food.
No, sexy food.
Yes.
The cauliflower truffles coming out in January. Oh my God, I'm so excited for them. There's like 4 ingredients. There's no sugar. Like that's my jam because I haven't had sugar in 3 years. So that's too where my creativity comes from. I mean, right now I'm struggling with adrenal fatigue and some stuff. And that inspires me also then to get uber creative because I can't have quite a bit of food. So that also inspires my creativity.
What is it? Do you mind me asking? Are there what kind of limitations in food?
Yeah. So
I'm sure a lot of people.
Yeah, I do want to speak about adrenal fatigue because it's been coming up a lot. A lot of people struggle with it and they've been asking a lot about like, what do you do for it? So adrenal fatigue, the symptoms are you feel like you have lead in your bones. And for me, I could barely get out of bed and I couldn't walk up the stairs to take my dog to my friend's house one day. I was like in tears, Roxy. And I work out like an athlete, and I'm not an athlete. Yeah. And I could barely like step up the stairs. And then brain fog, some memory memory loss, and just the chronic fatigue, like severe
and
fatigue.
It's essentially your raised cortisol level.
Raised cortisol levels, and my adrenals are basically taxed. So basically during the day, I felt like I could be asleep all day, and then all of a sudden your adrenals hold on to all the adrenaline, and then it's party time at night. So another symptom is
shit.
all of a sudden I can't sleep at night. I can sleep all damn day, but then all of a sudden 9 o'clock rolls around and my adrenals are like, party time. I'm releasing all the adrenaline that you have we've stored all day for you.
Because you're probably maybe because you stopped moving. Is that what it is?
No, it's like that fight. It goes into fight or flight. And so then the cortisol levels are high. And so then weight gain is a symptom, because then your body's holding on to every single thing, whether it be broccoli or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Well, even just so people know, if you have elevated cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone, you tend to you'll gain weight
in your stomach,
in your abdominal region.
Yeah. And I have to tell you that if I have a week where I haven't slept and I haven't managed my outside stressors very well, my jeans will be tight. And it's not because I'm sitting around eating shit. It's because of my cortisol.
Well, also because that affects your insulin sensitivity.
It does, and insulin resistance.
Exactly. You can become more insulin resistant just from that.
It spirals everything. So this is what my functional doctor finally said. Stop doing your heavy exercising. Stop drinking caffeine. Stop. No alcohol, no caffeine, no heavy exercising. Those are the three big ones.
Yeah, to lower your stress.
Lower the stress. And so I went from like CrossFit style classes to walking and light yoga 3 days a week, which was very hard for an athlete mind. I thought I was dying, not being able to exercise. Stopped drinking coffee and stopped playing with my caffeine. Started sleeping, and my weight started coming off. But not only that, my energy, and I feel clear. It's amazing. But I also have to stay away from soy and gluten and dairy, alcohol, caffeine, because all of that blocks a lot of it blocks absorption of, soy blocks absorption of iodine, and we need iodine for a healthy thyroid. And that's kind of, I'm not a doctor, you guys, but this is just stuff I've learned from a naturopath. And so a lot of that stuff affects the adrenals, and then Epstein-Barr virus. So I just stay away from all of it. And canola oils and GMO. I mean, any of that.
Which you don't want that anyway.
No, but it will trigger, even if I go to a salad bar and I don't realize there's canola, because I am so sensitive with the adrenal fatigue that it will spiral something in my body. So I'm like so uber strict right now, because it was so humbling. I mean, 3 months ago, I could barely get out of bed. I mean, I was like, how the heck am I going to, I almost canceled my show that I was filming. The first one I shot, episode 1, I was fake it till you make it. I was like, God, please help me just get through this 10-hour day. I mean, I was so freaking tired. I was slipping over my words, learning as I go. Very so humbling. Cute. I'm a human. I'm just going to say that. So I'm feeling very grateful that I have let go of that stuff. And it's not forever, those of you that are listening, that because I have women that are struggling with adrenal fatigue, and the no exercise thing is a really big thing.
I can't imagine.
I know.
But I will say this too. There are times oh my God. There are times where, I've had to take a 3-day off. For me, that's I
hear you, girl. It's uncomfortable.
Well, it's uncomfortable in the mind, but it is interesting. I swear the third day.
You feel like a rock, probably you feel amazing.
Well, not even that. I kind of look amazing.
You look amazing because your body's finally healing and catching up.
Yeah, like the lactic acid is lower. Everything's just kind of, because we know this, or I don't know if people know, but I'm going to share this now that, it's in the recovery area that our body, that all the benefits from training, from working out, that's where we really start to receive the benefits. It's in the recovery. So and I'm saying that, and I'm a girl who moves 7 days a week. And it's not to say don't move, but it's just adjusting. And what you're doing right now, you're not stopping movement. No. You're just adjusting it to meet your body's needs. You're honoring your body, which is so fucking important.
And it's so hard.
Yeah.
Because
we're control freaks.
Oh my God, control freaks. And I would exercise, you guys, seriously every single day for 2 hours. I mean, I used to be termed an exercise bulimic in the day.
Really?
Because I would exercise. It was part of my eating. And I've shared before, I think in the last episode, about my eating disorder and sugar addiction and stuff. And that kind of all went in that black or white mentality, all or or nothing. I would run the stairs at Avenue C 30 or 40 times. Then I would go box for an hour. Then I would work at my other restaurant job for 10 or 12 hours sauteing. And if my crazy butt would like go to like a hot yoga class at 9:00 at night, and I'd go out drinking, and I'd do that again. Talk about my poor little adrenals.
Well, do you think that like, I know your poor little, you're so cute.
My poor body.
My poor
Like-
little adrenals. You're like, help. You're like,
and then
no.
coffee and then alcohol and then 4 hours of exercise a day. It's like, oh my God, chef, calm down.
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes, yeah, I wonder if eating, if it gives this, I know that this is common in a lot of people. People can feel like, well, if I work really hard, I can eat whatever and
That
whatever.
is not
and
true.
It's not, no, it's not.
Nope.
Actually.
It's not about calories in and calories out for all the time.
Yeah, it depends on the person.
It depends on the person.
Response.
It is. For me, it's not, mine is not calories. I can eat broccoli and green soup all day long and gain weight if I'm not doing the right thing. I was like, all I've had is broccoli and water today and I've gained 5 pounds. So it's not about always for everyone. So people, I have a lot of like, especially women customers that come in and be like, I just did a juice cleanse and I gained weight. And it's like, well, because you probably didn't have any fat to help absorb the minerals and the vitamins and the nutrients that you need from the green. You know, we need fat to absorb all that yummy stuff.
The bioavailability.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So some people can lose 10 pounds. I mean, I used to be the girl that with my ex-boyfriends, we'd go on cleanses or diets and he would like lose 20 pounds and I'd gain 3 and I'd be like,
well, the thing is too, is that men and women are different.
Totally
and
different.
Here's the main difference. Ready? They got one hormone the whole way through.
I know.
They got testosterone for the rest. And every single week, our hormones are changing. Probably by the day. I'm not a doctor to say that, but I certainly know by the week. I mean, because of our cycle and whatnot.
And over 40 and
Yeah, exactly. So
I know.
It does.
And ladies, don't compare yourself to your man because I have a lot of customers that come into it's like, but my boyfriend did this. And it's like, okay, but you're a woman. You're not
okay, actually, you know what? I love that you said that.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this for 1 second and maybe you can share some advice.
Yeah.
Because this is a very common thing that the woman will eat what their partner, the man, eats, and I hear that a lot.
Me too.
And it's
I do
a
too.
problem
it
because
is.
either they're eating food that doesn't make them feel good, or they're gaining weight. And I'm like, you guys, because you understand you're not him, and you can't necessarily eat the same food. Your body's going to react differently. And it's hard because it's like, well, then what are you doing? Preparing 2 meals? I'm like, yeah, you are.
Yeah,
Probably.
you are. Or you're looking at your portions. Because I used to eat like with ex-boyfriends and be like, wow, I don't need 8 ounces of whatever. Like I need like 3 ounces.
Right.
So at least look at the portions. Or you're cooking 2 meals. I mean,
maybe you're making fish for you and steak for him or whatever.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Or or I'll make like a bunch of like plant-based sexy stuff and then put some roasted chicken on the side if somebody wants it, or some roasted bison. Like so it's a win-win for everyone. Yeah,
but not necessarily. That's
so you're not have to cook 2 meals. Because I always say to people like, how do you do like a family of 5 and I've got all these like dietary restrictions. Usually if you do like 3 big platters of like whatever, 2 entrees and a salad that are plants, and then you can have some sides, at least 5 people can find something within that.
Yeah, you're right. And even if we were going to use the example of he wants rice or a potato, but you make a beautiful avocado salad, which he could also have too, but you don't need, it's just adding, it doesn't necessarily have to be a whole separate meal. Yeah. It's just having different things that you can, switch out from the things that aren't serving you. Yeah, that's huge. That's important too. Cool. So I want to talk a little bit about P1440, and by now, we've wrapped the last event has been wrapped in Huntington, which is coming up this weekend. The end of this month, and I'm so excited. Yeah. How has that been for you?
It's been so fun. It's been, first of all, so fun. Carrie's just amazing. She's such a great human. I know she's like your bestie.
I feel like everybody knows. Yeah, my best friend, Carrie Walsh Jennings, and her husband, Casey Jennings, and they have a partnership with, some other amazing people, and they put together this, pro volleyball / lifestyle wellness experience.
Yeah, it's
that
just
has just
different.
Been so rad.
It's been amazing. I feel like it's different than anything else because it's not just the volleyball. They're putting in she wanted a mind, body, soul connection. So that's why they have meditation.
Yeah.
They have movement classes. They've got stuff
So
for
fun.
kids. I've been doing cooking demos and health talks, and it's great it's been a small start. I believe that their vision, it's going to grow, it's going to be big, but it's really fun to inspire and talk about health and what we put in our body. And I get a lot of kind of bright, big deer in headlight eyes, like, whoa, like light bulbs go off. And that's, even if I can just touch or reach one person at those events, which it's been more than that, it's been really exciting to like start the conversation with health. And it's always, these last couple events have been about healthy snacks, because I think that snacking is where we get ourselves into trouble. It's at the entrees, I can like, okay, I got my meal prep, but ooh, I forgot my snack.
Right.
And then you get
I think you know what you're doing too. You're even reframing what a snack is, because I think the common snack in America is in a bag or in a box, and that's not good necessarily.
Exactly.
I mean, coconut chips are pretty good.
They are good, but being in control of
they're not available everywhere.
They're not available everywhere. And I am addicted to my organic beet chips. I'm like a junkie for those with avocado.
I haven't even tried those.
Oh my God. The only ingredient are beets.
Really?
It's the best. And I smear like avocado and put a little piece of black garlic on it.
Them?
No, Rhythm Superfoods has them. They're organic, GMO free. They're amazing. They're just dehydrated. That's it.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Beets are so good for you.
I know.
Okay. Wait,
Yeah,
what do you put on them? Sorry, are you guys getting hungry yet?
I know, right? This is a weird combo, everyone listening, but it's like one of my favorite. I put a little slice of avocado on the beet chip, and then if you can find fermented black garlic, which is so great for your gut, it's sweet.
That's amazing.
It's like candy, and you put a little black garlic clove on top, or a little piece of pickled vegetable if you can't find the black garlic. So that's
that sounds like I wouldn't be able to stop eating.
I know. It's a great little guilt-free snack treat. Yeah, I do that often.
What are you, if you had like 3 superfoods right now that you're really loving that are serving you well, what would they be?
Okay, I knew you were going to ask this, and so I always
did you? I always know.
I always try to pull it back because I've got a ton. Well, I always talk about. I do always have to say chlorella is. I don't think it will ever go off of my top 5.
Yes.
There's so many benefits. Not only is it a complete plant protein with all the B vitamins, but it really helps pull heavy metals and toxins. And people say, oh, but I don't have a lot of heavy metals. It's like, but heavy metals are in our water. People will say, oh, but I drink bottled water. Okay, great. But what about your bath? What about your shower?
Well, just to validate that, I got my blood work done and I had low levels of mercury, which was great because they were super low. And almost everybody, Julie was explaining that almost everyone
does.
And I had low levels of aluminum, which is also very common. I was grateful I had no arsenic, and there's another one in there, but you don't really there are people who can feel when the repercussions of when there is too much metal, but for the most part, you're not necessarily.
You don't really. You can't.
So it's so supportive to have something that is just protecting you.
I know.
Like
I love it. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I take that every day with Hawaiian spirulina. I would say right now for me, dulse and kelp powder in the seaweed family, and I put those in my smoothie bowls, so you can't even taste them. And in my smoothies, so I use that in everything because I am low in iodine.
Yes.
It's also a great salt substitute, so I use that. Those are seaweeds.
That's right.
I've been into, what else have I been into lately? Oh well, I know you and I are on the same page with the baru nut.
Oh yeah.
And the antioxidants in the baru nut. I mean, I'm kind of obsessed with the baru nut. That's there.
I honestly haven't. The only almonds that I've had are from your cooking, like your turmeric,
Yeah.
And that's because I'm like, well, if I have a choice of the nut, the baru nut is just, first of all, it's the most nutrient dense nut.
It is.
That's recorded to date.
It is.
I just got some Brazil nuts today to increase selenium because I discovered I was lower there. And they're actually quite good. But the thing about baru nuts that's so rad is they're actually not super high in fat. I mean, they're so you can eat more.
You can eat more. Well, I like it because I'm like, I think a serving of almonds is 12 almonds. It's like, that's just gonna make me angry. Like I want
you want more.
Like who's gonna eat 12 almonds? I'm sorry, not me. Like I need like a handful of baru nuts, and it's satiating.
It's so satiating.
Yeah.
Plus you're getting the fiber in their nut is incredible. So going back to the microbiome and how fiber is so important. And they have a full amino acid profile.
They
too.
do, don't they?
Yes.
And I know for those of you that are listening, you can get those online and on Amazon. They're available now. They're more readily available. And then the last superfood family, which I know you agree to, are my mushrooms. So right now I do lion's mane, chaga, and reishi, and I do get those from Sun Potion, and I add them into my matcha tea in the morning.
Yeah.
And when I'm trying to come off of caffeine or tea, I'll just do a lion's mane little hot tea with some berries and stuff in it. Yeah, it's like
Yummy.
and then I have dragon herbs. I get a lot of like weird little herbs from those guys that are amazing. Weird as in good weird. The alchemist. I know.
No, I love it. I love the mushrooms. I've been on the mushroom. Four Sigmatic just created
they're amazing too. They're a great brand. Yeah.
I just saw that they put out this mushroom chocolate, which is
I want to make one of those. I want to make a mushroom chocolate tea, and then I want to make a mushroom chocolate kind of bar for the holidays.
Wait, you know what I want to ask you actually? I mean, even though we're this will probably come out right, I don't know, actually around Christmas or the start of the new year, but just in general, I mean, you saying that, Americans on average will gain like 12 pounds between Halloween to Christmas, I think. I mean, if you had to give like a top tip on how to avoid that, yet still not feel like you are departed from the fun, you can't have any fun. Is there anything that you can say in that?
Yeah, so I think the biggest tip, so let's get real. There's 7 days out of the week. Are we really going out to party 7 nights? No. So usually during the season from October to January, every weekend is packed for most people. There's different parties and dinners. So why not during the week tone it down a little, meaning like maybe don't have that glass of wine during the week. Or for me, you guys, I eat so boring and unsexy for a chef. I mean, it is a pretty boring plant-based and I say just boring just because I'm not like sexing it up. I mean, it's literally like steamed broccoli and this and my green soup and some seeds and avocado. Bam,
and it tastes amazing.
And it tastes amazing.
Yes.
And so I try to eat, I'm telling you, and I do intermittent fasting. So intermittent fasting around the holidays when I know Saturday night I'm going out and I'm having dinner out. So I know like last night, tonight, tomorrow, I'll eat dinner around 4:30 or 5, and I won't eat breakfast till 9.
Yeah.
And it's just really clean, light food to allow my liver to be able to process a little bit heavier food when I go out, and have your drinks on the weekend.
Sure.
So I would say right now, I think it's the all or mind. So, the stop by to Starbucks for the pastry every day. Why don't you treat yourself for the weekend? You got to like pick your battles with the treats.
I love that.
Or if you've got Halloween candy still from Halloween, ask for the willingness to get rid of that. I mean, I will go home at Christmas and there will still be Halloween candy at my sister's house that people were just snacking on for like 3 months. It's like, get rid of the candy.
Well, I think there could be a feeling of obligation. Oh, it's the holidays, so it's immediately time to check out because everyone
else is doing it, and
right. It's like party food, and it's the time to not almost care about.
That's the problem.
Stuff.
Yeah,
right. But you know what's so fucked up about that? Like, it just hit me right now. If you can't tell, then you know what we're ultimately doing? We're moving through our lives, through our years, from a very superficial place, because the summer means have your best body.
It really is. And then everybody's starving themselves.
Is like,
I know.
And listen, like for athletes, there's a time to gain some weight, have a hormone reset. Like, that's different. That's not necessarily like just a free for all in the food department. And so now I've gained all this fat, and that's different. But I think that's, it just literally hit me.
I love that, Roxy.
Superficial way.
It is. In the beach, it triggers me, the whole beach thing for 3 months, and then bam, I got to look good. Why can't we look good in January? Why can't we look good and feel good? And it's not just about looking good. Feeling like I'm never going to have a 6-pack at 42, you guys, but I feel amazing, and I'm going to feel.
Never say never, but
never say never. That's true. I'm never. I guess I say that because I didn't have one at 16, so.
So cute.
But I try to I want to feel my best now and in June and in July and in all year round. And I used to be frantic and dread my birthday in June because I was like, oh no, I got to be at that weight for my bikini and that next birthday. It's like, no, I want to be like, I just want to feel good.
You want to feel,
I want to feel
great,
good.
The byproduct is you're going to look good. And
Yeah.
not just because you have a six pack or you don't.
Yeah.
It's because, you know, your eyes sparkle, your
Exactly.
skin glows, your hair is bouncy, your nails are not brittle. Like, there is a different, it's so much deeper than just, you know, your waist size. So, but yeah, I think it's so important to, if we take a deeper look and go, wait, what are we really doing? If we're on that, you know, beach body summer thing. And I mean, I do understand, and I value having challenges and goals just because it's fun to keep, like, you know, having something to drive you forward. Yes. But I think most people who listen to this podcast by now know that, you know, my diet, I'm an advocate for cellular health. And I know that if I'm taking care of my body from that perspective, you know, in my diet, then I'm going to look great. I'm certainly going to feel great, you know? So I think it's just... Yeah,
I agree.
That was I went in the weeds a little bit. Sorry, but
that's okay. It's from the inside, but it's feeling from the inside, and it will radiate out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, essentially like balance.
Really. And I think like, you know, the whole theme for today, or because this will be out in January, I think.
Yeah. Or no, it might come out December.
Okay,
it
might come out December. Okay, we'll see. Flying by the seat of our pants as Geminis. We don't know. There's really four of us in this count because we have two Geminis. So we have 4 people. And I'm a triple air sign. So we have 5 personalities here in this podcast right now.
It's breezy. I love it.
But I think like if you want, what you want to take away today is, you know, introduce 1 or 2 days a week to do a little reset to give your body, not a diet mentality, a reset. I'm going to eat some plants today, and I'm going to be calm, and I'm going to look at my stress. I might intermittent fast, drink some water. Maybe I'm going to get outside. Here are the free therapies, you guys. Meal prepping, grounding, earthing, which means go outside and put your bare feet in Mother Earth for 15 minutes. Get vitamin D. Let the sun hit your face. Take a pause. You know, acknowledge yourself. I set my alarm every day for 2 p.m. and it's called my self-acknowledgement alarm. And I breathe and I acknowledge something, how amazing I am. And just
I have something like that.
You know,
I love that.
And just start those practices, and that will start to help. And then, I mean, I don't know, start. And you know what? I splurge, everyone listening. I love organic tequila, and I am a Southern classically trained chef and a wine snoot. Like, I love my wine. So you better believe I splurge, but I also balance it out, and I take care of my organs, or I'll have some digestive enzymes, or I'll have some charcoal, or do a little reset.
I love that I feel like
I'm human. I want to splurge and go out to eat. I'm a chef, for God's sake. Like,
totally. Yeah. You want to explore.
Yeah.
But I love that you're using the term reset, and that's going to be a very big piece, a takeaway piece from this, because it does steer away from a diet mentality, and it does steer away from this black or white. It does steer away from quick fixes. I mean, it really is like, it's being more in a flow state, honoring your body at the, you know, to essentially keep it in an optimal state of health.
Exactly.
And yet still be able to live life and enjoy things that
go
you
have a
want
cookie,
to do.
go have a glass of wine. Exactly. Listen to your body. Intuitive eating. But intuitive eating for me is like, oh, I'm hungry, I want a cookie. It's like, no, let's
intuitive eating, that's a very tricky that's a conversation in of itself, because some people don't understand what it really means, and then it becomes.
Well, I think, and I don't want to get into that because it is. You're right, but I think
complicated.
It is complicated. But I think you starting to listen to your body to eat meat, and you guys, I haven't been eating meat for a while, and I seriously am an O blood type, and I woke up Monday and I was like, I want to I need meat. And that was intuitive. That was intuitive eating.
Yes.
I finally was like, I'm going to listen to my body. My body's obviously craving something like,
you know what
so
it
I had
is?
some bison, and I've had 4 ounces, and I was like a game changer. Bam, done. Like, I didn't need to go out and have like a 10-ounce filet or a steak. But yeah, I fought the urge for like 3 or 4 days, and I did not feel good. And I finally, so.
And it's so interesting, because why would you fight the urge? Because of the mental part of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I don't want, and it's honorable. Like, I understand why. As someone, you know, just on this subject, someone who didn't eat meat for 15 years, I get it. But it's like, okay, but you still have to walk around in this thing called your body. And if your body, and here's the thing with the intuitive part, it's like, it's not emotional. after 4 days, you're like, fuck, this is like, something is telling me something. And I can choose to be stubborn and no, I'm going to be a whatever, vegan or not eat the meat. Or you might just be like, shit, let me, give my body what it's driving me towards and then see how I feel. And obviously it served you.
Yeah, it did.
So important.
It is. We could talk for hours and hours.
I know, I gotta get you.
We could save the world's problems with food, right?
Seriously. I mean, you can with your recipes.
Give us a day. Oh my gosh. And I think when we stop, we're going to be, Roxy's going to try some bison.
I am so excited because it's been like, I think over a weekend where I've been just thinking about this with you. So I'm so excited. I'll do something with it. Put it out there. We'll do something. Do you have any a bison recipe on your website?
I believe on on chefamber.com on my website. I have a huge blog with tons of recipes. So there is a bison and squash recipe that's stuffed. I believe it's in a butternut squash from last year. It's delicious. It's great for the holidays.
That'll be awesome.
It's amazing.
So I might have to get this out in December. Yeah. Can you tell those who don't already follow you how to not just follow you, but also about your the episodes and how to...
Sure. Okay. So chefamber.com, you can subscribe. That's my website. You can subscribe for my series through there.
Okay.
And then also on chefamber.com, I have tons of recipes and tips. Okay. And then you can follow me on Instagram at chefamberla. And that's also my Facebook. So if you are on Instagram, I'm always showing on stories like Roxy said earlier, and showing my dinners and what I'm making. And so good. And I love to hear feedback from what you guys learned or want more of. Same with, I'm sure they'll reach out to you too. If I love to help and inspire and create this community and keep the conversation going, because it's a journey for us. It might seem like, oh, you guys know everything, because people always say, you know everything, Roxy, know everything. It's like, no, I'm still stumbling and learning.
We're students forever.
Students forever.
I know nothing. And even when you think you know, it's like, and that goes back, it's like you have to, it's not linear. It's not like,
no, I love that you always say it. It's not. It's not. And it's not, there's not one recipe for all. And I'm always happy to take people's comments and questions, because learn from me. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars and mistakes on doctors of trying to figure it out. And it's finally just comes down to, it doesn't have to, we don't have to overcomplicate it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so
You're welcome.
much.
Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh. I love having you. You guys definitely stay in touch with her, follow her, send her messages. She's super active on social media. Love you guys so much. Thank you for spending your time here with us. And I am about to eat some of Amber's stir-fry bison. Here I go.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode, you guys. If you loved it, please share it on your social. Throw it up on your Instagram stories and tag me. I'm at Black Belt Beauty. I am also at Roxy Look, RoxyLook. I love connecting with you guys. This is a conversation that I want to just continue growing with you guys. So if you feel inspired to hit me up, do so in that space. I always enjoy hearing from you. If you'd like to support this podcast, you can do so by rating it and reviewing it via iTunes. It's such supportive help, you guys. It really helps the visibility of this podcast. So I appreciate and thank you in advance for doing that. And last but not least, if you are interested in starting your own podcast, or perhaps you already have one and you need help with, editing your audio and the production of it, I cannot recommend my producers enough. Resonate Recordings, you guys, they are the bomb. I rely on them. They are an absolute supportive tool to me and my podcast. So check them out and let them know that Black Belt Beauty sent you. And on that note, you guys, I'm signing off with all my love and always looking forward to catching you on the next.